Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to the fourth day of our faculty development program. And today's sessions are role and support of EDIs, TBIs, and financial institutions. And the second session will be on innovation and problem solving. The first session speaker is Dr. Hema Srinivasan. Let me introduce you. Dr. Hamas Srinivasan possesses more than 25 years of experience in teaching, research, training, and consulting. She has served in various sectors as administrator, HOD, faculty, and visiting faculty across corporates, companies, and B schools. Her research interests are predominantly into promulgating entrepreneurship development with a special focus on microfinance and upbringing rural women entrepreneurship across the nation. Dr. Hema has a wide exposure to self-help groups, financial literacy, behavioral finance, women empowerment, and entrepreneurship development. She is currently serving as the executive member and associate program director of NFED Business Facilitators Forum and is the course mentor for e-entrepreneurship certification program at National Foundation for Entrepreneurship Development. She is also an educational consultant at Open Wonder Learn at Bangalore, Karnataka. I now invite Dr. Hema Srinivasan to deliver the session titled Role and Support of EDIs, TBIs, and Financial Institutions.
Thank you very much, Madam. Very good afternoon to all the distinguished dignitaries present here today, professors, faculties, research scholars, and students. So the topic that I'm going to speak about today is about the role and support of EDIs, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, TBI, Technology Business Incubators, and financial institutions. There is a saying that money follows those men and women who are daring and diligent like a lion. So every entrepreneur here, the ones who are already existing entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs, need to develop this trait of being daring and diligent. And I'm sure all the rest will follow. So today here I am to speak about the main concepts of entrepreneurship's support systems in the way of the Entrepreneurship Development Institute in terms of the technology business incubator and in terms of the financial.
Excuse me for the interruption, Dr. Hema. Can you switch on to the full screen mode?
Yes, ma'am. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Continue, please.
So we will start with EDI, in other words, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, which aims at creating a multiplier effect on the opportunities and employment of entrepreneurs, training and motivating entrepreneurs, institution building efforts, and inculcating the entrepreneurship youth in India. So as I said, the entrepreneurship in the youth of India need to be daring and diligent, and we will be speaking about all those inputs that EDI brings to the entrepreneurs in India. Technology Business Incubator, in other words, TBI, is that forum which uses all the modern technologies in order to make sure that the entrepreneur is able to use the right technology in order to grow in his business. Financial institutions are a whole lot of them which have been formulated by the central government and the state government of India, which help entrepreneurial activities such as financing, not only financing, but also helping them with technology, equipment support, training, marketing, and providing the grants as and when required. So we will be talking in depth about each of these factors in the following slides. So let us first come to EDI, the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, an autonomous body that was formed in 1983. It has been sponsored by Apex financial institutions, namely IDBI Bank of India, IFCI Limited, ICICI Limited, and SBI. So let us go into the depth of what EDI is doing. EDI is established in 1983 with the support of the government of Gujarat, situated in Ahmedabad. Its main aims are to help potential and existing entrepreneurs. It trains the trainers and the faculty members of the institute, and at the same time, the institution has set up entrepreneurship development centers in 12 states across the country. Now, who are the sponsored financial institutions who are supporting EDI? IDBI Bank, Industrial Development Bank of India, which was formulated in 1964, has been supporting EDI in this regard. IFCI Limited, the Industrial Finance Corporation of India, was formulated in 1948, providing medium and long-term finance to the entrepreneurs across India through EDI. And we also have the ICICI Limited, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, which has been very popularly known as the ICICI Bank today, was first in helping the EDI to come up with schemes that would help entrepreneurs in India. SBI, with the largest network of branches across India, was formulated in 1955, and RBI has a stake of 60% in the SBI and its operations, and SBI has been helping out EDI in various schemes and the loans that they have. So now we a little more on EDI and its responsibilities. EDI's mission is to become a catalyst in facilitating emergence of competent financial EDI's mission is to become a catalyst in facilitating the entrepreneurs and translating the existing SMEs, the small medium enterprises, into growth-oriented enterprises. And the aim of EDI is also to create self-employment and train the budding entrepreneurs to become successful in their business mission. EDI augments the supply of entrepreneur trainer motivators, participates in the institution's efforts by inculcating the spirit of entrepreneurship in the youth. So motivating the entrepreneurs to sustain his business is another role that EDI is very concerned about. It promotes micro enterprises at the rural level by developing and disseminating new knowledge in entrepreneurial theory and practice through research. So EDI has tie-ups with institutions, educational institutions across India, where they give degrees and diplomas, which is connected with the theory of entrepreneurship. We also have EDI, which is helping out or improving the managerial capacities of entrepreneurs who belong to the small scale industry by sensitizing the support system. So every entrepreneur has got his own, not demands, but then he has his own way of functioning, and he may require certain inputs and support depending upon the type of business that he is running. And that is particularly very pertinent to the small scale industry, and EDI comes to support these entrepreneurs. EDI also facilitates potential and existing entrepreneurs to establish and manage their efforts by collaborating with the similar organizations in India and other developing countries to accomplish these objectives. So those of the entrepreneurs who are doing similar businesses are also pooled in together so that they can share their knowledge and their inputs in such a way that they are able to progress in their business, and EDI gives this facility to all these entrepreneurs. EDI helps in education, training, research. So the institute which runs in Ahmedabad also takes care of research activities, and I said that they also have tie-ups with institutions across India where they have hands-on experience being given to students who come there to learn. EDI's mission is to become a catalyst, as already mentioned, in emerging of the competent entrepreneurs and helping the existing SMEs into growth-oriented organization. We have the entrepreneurship development training as one of the key elements for promotion of micro, small, and medium enterprises, especially for creation of new enterprises. Now, we will talk about what it is to, be a MSME. So, as the name suggests, MSME means. So, let us first get to the definition of MSME: micro, small scale, and medium enterprises. So MSME is, as per the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act of 2006, are having within them companies in the manufacturing sector and companies in the services sector. So MSME is defined as micro, where the investment could be 1 crore to 50 crores. Small, where the investment is 10 crores to 50 crores. Medium is 50 crores to 250 crores. Now, National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, NIMSME, is at Hyderabad. Now, we will have to look at each of these institutes and their special contribution to the entrepreneurial development of India. So the Hyderabad-based institute is called NIMSME. The next one is the NIESED, which is situated in Noida, Uttar Pradesh, and we have IIE at Guwahati, Assam. These institutes are engaged in developing various training modules which are different from each other depending upon the entrepreneur's requirement, and they undertake research and training and provide consultancy services for entrepreneurship development and promotion of the new entrepreneur activities. So MSc, now we will come to each one of them separately now. So what does NIMSME do? It promotes and it helps in the growth and development of MSMEs in the areas of policy making, entrepreneurship, technology, information, and education and management and extension. So this Noida-based entrepreneurship development cell talks about providing assistance to the skill development. So we have the skill development in terms of a junior software development programmer who's given training. It could be an accounts executive who also needs training in different modes of accounting, and which helps every entrepreneur to check on his accounts and also maintain his accounts. Tool designers are a specific area where the technical aspects of a business is covered. We also have web designers and developers who are required for a company to promote the company in a way such that they're able to showcase their product or service. And we also have other particular skill development programs such as fashion designing, and we have bakery making. Bakery as one of the main objectives of women entrepreneurs across the country, where they come out with various food processing items such as bread making, cookies, cakes, pastries. So all these areas are covered under NIMSME. So each of these enterprises or each of these organizations, subsidiaries of EDI, have specific responsibilities, like I said, and they have been established with the mission of promoting the growth of MSMEs through all these channels. So we have all these activities being covered by NIMSME. Then we have the next institute of EDI, or the branch of EDI, which is National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Development, which is NIESUBUD. It is an apex body established by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, which coordinates, trains, oversees the activities of various institutions, agencies, and which help in the entrepreneurship development particularly in the area of small industry and small businesses. Yes, it is again having its own specific role to play when it comes to training entrepreneurs through methodology, and also has a syllabi for training target groups. Now, when we talk about this particular branch of Entrepreneurship Development Institute, this particular branch talks about or is more involved with uh, business development in the agricultural sector, such as organic farming, fisheries and aquaculture, and also they come under the skill development program for Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So under this ministry, and the skill development and entrepreneurship program, the youth is encouraged to take up skills not only in industries but also to move towards rural areas and concentrate on organic farming methodologies, and also to enter into the other related areas such as aquaculture and fisheries. So this is one specific responsibility which has been taken up by NIESVUD. It formulates selection procedures. Let me be more specific on what exactly they do. They develop training aids, manuals. They facilitate and support the central and the state government and other agencies in organizing entrepreneurship development programs and conducting training programs for promoters and trainers as well as entrepreneurs in undertaking research and exchange the experiences globally. So this is one of the major responsibilities of the National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. Now we move on to the next branch of the Entrepreneurship Development Institute, which is called as the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, which was established in 1993. And this particular institute is situated in Guwahati by the erstwhile Ministry of Industry at that time. And Guwahati, as you all know, is situated in Assam, and the other northeastern states are all also there, which are requiring a lot of support in the area of entrepreneurship. Here, the specific responsibility which IIE has taken over is about helping the travel and the tourism department in the state. So as we know, we have the national park, which is connected with wildlife, which is situated in this particular state. And so this particular institute has been helping the travel agents and the youth to come out with something which is called as, we have it as adventure tourism. So adventure tourism is that area which has got a lot of scope for the state to develop because of the inflow of tourists in that particular state at any given point of time, mainly because it is having the beautiful national park in the state. So we have the IIE situated in Guwahati, Assam, where the business incubation training is for travel agents to get trained in adventure tourism, which is a 15 days program, and they on rotation help agents to have their own tourists traveling across the state, and that brings a lot of income to the state as well as in the economic development of the country. So the main objectives of the institute: to organize and conduct training for entrepreneurship development in the state, to evolve strategies, methodologies for different target groups, and locating different field tests which are conducted across the state. They also identify the needs and offer training programmers to the government and the non-government organizations within the state who are engaged in promoting and supporting the entrepreneurship. So we have this particular branch of the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, which is situated in Guwahati. So here we have these three organizations, these three subsidiaries of the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. which is actually helping all the entrepreneurs to develop their businesses in the particular aspects that they feel is the right one for them. So maybe it is organic farming for one person, and we also saw they are also looking into aquaculture and marine department, where they can have a lot of exports happening from the particular department. We also see how the tourism development is being developed through the EDI, and also we have other aspects of entrepreneurship which is being supported by the EDI. So this is a little on what the EDI is actually doing. We will go further into the other aspects of today's topic. TBI, as the name suggests, it is Technology Business Incubator. It is an entity which helps technology-based startup businesses with the resources, support, and that which the startup needs to evolve into a mature business. So every entrepreneur starts with an idea or a concept, and the end stage is when he's able to deliver his product successfully in the market. So right from when the concept is developed till the product or the services reaches the market, the technology business incubator goes hands in hand with the prospective entrepreneur or the budding entrepreneur. Now we will go into more into this particular aspect of TBI as to what exactly is the role of the technology business incubator. Technology business incubators provide budding entrepreneurs all the necessary infrastructure support, technology prototype, development support, research assistance, helps in getting funding. Business acts as a business consulting assistant and does all that is necessary to make the startup a success. Now, what is a prototype? Just now, when I said that a concept has to be made into a final product, the entrepreneur may require support from the technology business incubator to help him with some kind of a research where a similar product or a service is also simulated in a lab and check to see whether it is feasible in the market. So to that extent, the technology that is required for the businessman or the entrepreneur to set up his business is given support by the technology business incubator. Not only that, he helps him with the research, he helps him develop that product in such a way that he is able to fund himself and then get into the marketing arena. And that calls for a lot of effort, not only from the entrepreneur, but also with the support of the business incubator. He is able to do wonderfully well and then now, the primary goal of the business incubator is also to facilitate in the economic development of the country by improving the growth of new entrepreneurial units. So the more the better for the business incubator, because he will reach out to any entrepreneur depending upon the concept, the idea that has been formulated by the entrepreneur, or even if he is an entrepreneur who wants to start his business but wants to get ideas from a source which is very genuine, which is concerned. I think the best bet would be for him to contact the technology business incubators. Incubators accelerate the development of young entrepreneurs from the idea stage to the independent, self-sustaining business that he or she would like to be in. The phenomenal growth of incubators has taken place all over the world in the last 2 decades. In the last 20 years, across the globe, there have been incubation centers in all the universities across the world, and there has been a great success in this because we have seen it has been understood, it has been seen that a lot of business concepts and ideas have come into reality because of the role that the technology business incubators have played in the lives of entrepreneurs, students, or any other budding or existing entrepreneur. The concept has, as I said, benefited many countries. Why? Because of the technology. The technological advancements that have been happening over a period of time has actually helped these entrepreneurs to get success more easily, or they have been able to use technology to their benefit in such a way so that there has been a phenomenal growth in their business. And thanks to the support of technology business incubators who are spread in various institutions and in various areas across the world, that entrepreneurs have been doing exceedingly well in their particular business. In the form of business, the TBI provides incubators an initial place of operation in terms of land, in terms of a lab which is set up, in terms of equipment and machinery that needs to be given to an entrepreneur depending upon his business, in terms of supportive environment by helping also the ancillary units which are there to bring out with small machine tools which are required for the main business. And they also assist in the technological aspects by giving hands-on experience and also making a business plan in such a way that the entrepreneurs able to decide whether he wants to run his business in a small way or in a big way. So very often what happens when an entrepreneur starts his business in a small way, he realizes to some extent that his business is going to grow. So it is at that point of time that is when he requires more amount of capital, and that is when the technology business incubators help the entrepreneur by providing venture capital. So venture capitalists are those capitalists who are willing to give loans to a very big extent or a large extent to help and support the entrepreneur to grow in his business in a very big way. So this is also taken care by the technology business incubator. So we see that the idea, right from the stage when the idea is developed in the minds of an entrepreneur, till the stage when the marketing of the product is done after a prototype or after the feasibility of the product or services has been formed and felt in the market, and finally when it comes to also securing sources of capital such that the businessman or the entrepreneur can grow in his line. Till that, the TBI is going to give the support, or in other words, the technology business incubator is all in all to support the entrepreneur. So this is a little more of insight into the role and support of TBI. Now we will talk about a very important part of today's program or our session today, and we have the Osmania Technology Business Incubator who is doing all the needful as per what we have just seen in the earlier slide. So the Osmania University is has established the Osmania Technology Business Incubator to create an incubation ecosystem on the campus. Students, researchers, faculty members with the best innovative ideas will not only get mentorship and also the financial assistance in order to step into their entrepreneurship world. The administration has also got funds from the central government such that they will be able to give their funding to the respective entrepreneurs depending upon their projects. The administration intends to make the incubation center into a business model and make available all the work that is required for an entrepreneur to, not only rent out the, setups or the land or the equipments and the machinery, but will give all the support for a startup in such a way that they will be able to progress well in their business once their idea has been formulated and the concepts have been made. So they have all kinds of expertise to help the budding entrepreneurs to start their business, and as well as for the existing entrepreneurs to grow in their business world. The business administration also plans to rope in companies for financial assistance, and as well as from the funds that they have, definitely there will be the financial support also, which is going to be given to the students or to all the members who wish to become entrepreneurs in their own rights, depending upon their business idea. So here we have Usmania Technology Business Incubator as one of the best examples of the technology business incubator about which we are talking today. Now we have a lot of now having spoken about EDI and we having spoken about the technology business incubators, the third support area that is needed for an entrepreneur is all about financial institutions. What kind of financial institutions are existing and what kind of help that they would give to the entrepreneur. So it is not only about financial institutions helping a particular a particular technology business incubator, but across India we have institutions starting from the central government level to the state government level to the autonomous bodies of financial institutions, and I am going to speak about each one of them so that there is an insight about the kind of support that we could get also from the financial institutions of India. So here we before I can go move further, let me just talk about the kind of mission and vision that an entrepreneur would like to have in his mind before he decides to come out with the concept. So any incubator center that we would approach would want to know what is it that is there in our minds about starting our business. So there comes our vision. Vision is our destination, and a mission is that short statement of why at all are we starting our entrepreneurship, what is that organization that we would like to have, and what is its original value systems that we have within ourselves, which we are transferring to our idea, and what is the philosophy and what is the desired future state that we would like to be. So when we have all these in our minds as budding entrepreneurs or existing entrepreneurs, I'm sure you would like to think about your business from the target audience's point of view, from the contribution that you would like to make towards society, and how different are you from the other entrepreneur. So everybody is unique. So along with our unique personality, we also have a product which has to be unique. The service or the product that we manufacture has to be so different from the others that we are able to reach our target audience, and in the bargain what would happen is we are going to contribute to the economy, right? So now when we that is all about the traits of an entrepreneur on one hand, and now we go further into the financial institutions that are going to help the technology business incubators. So IDBI, the Industrial Development Bank of India, we spoke about IDBI in the initial slides, wherein we spoke that it was one of the pioneers in coming out with supporting the entrepreneurs in India through EDI. Then we also have the IFCI, which is also an organization or finance corporation, which has helped EDI to come out with schemes, which has helped reach out to the entrepreneurs across India. Here we have the third very important financial institution about which I will be talking in detail. It is about Small Industries Development Bank of India. So the Small Industries Development Bank of India was set up on 2nd April 1990. It acts as a promotion, financing agent, and develops the micro, small, and medium sector. So what is MSME? We discussed about it in our earlier slides, wherein micro are very small enterprises with an investment relating to a particular amount. Then small also comes into a category, bigger category of investment. Medium comes into a higher level of investment that is required. So MSME sector is that sector which is going to be supported fully by SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and it so happened in 1990 that it was set up, and it has been helping the MSME sector to such a great extent today that we have SIDBI as a promoter, financier, and a developer of the MSME sector. So that is a little about SIDBI. We will be talking in length about it in the future slides. We also have the National Small Industries Corporation Limited. So here comes another financial institution which is a technical center in the world. If we just look at each of these institutions, though financing may be a common goal for all of them, but they all have certain special characteristics to cater to the demands of particular entrepreneurs in the sector across the country. So this technical National Small Industries Corporation Limited has technical centers spread across India. So what does it do? It provides marketing facilities, technology inputs, and as well as it gives finances and financial assistance to small businessmen or small industries for that matter. Now they go by a concept called as tender marketing. So what is tender marketing? The NSIC has formed a common pool of units. Now within the small scale industries, we will see that many of them are doing similar business. Now it may become difficult for them to reach the market because all of them are in the similar unit, making a similar product. So this is where the National Small Industries Corporation pitches in. So what do? They come and they help the small industries to pool in their products in such a way that they are able to reach the market. NSIC takes the responsibility of selling the products made by these small units and at the same time designates the amount of products that they can manufacture depending upon the capacity. So NSIC takes the responsibility of, calling for bidding from the market from various tenders. And once they get their order, they distribute that order of units to all the units that are existing under this particular NSIC, or in other words, the entrepreneurs who are making similar units of a particular product. They are not equally divided, but they are divided depending upon the capacity, such that all of them are into gainful occupation, and at the same time, all of them are able to get substantial amount of business from their entrepreneur skills. So this is exactly what the National Small Industries Corporation Limited is doing, and that particular tender marketing is a specialist area of this particular financial institution. So likewise, we will have the other State Small Industries Corporation, about which we will be talking now. What does State Small Industries Corporation do? The State Small Industries Corporation provides raw materials and assist in the marketing of exporting. So now this particular organization procures raw materials which are very difficult to find. We may have a business enterprise wherein we may have to use raw materials in the form of, it could be steel, or it could be iron, or it could be aluminium, and the minerals which are in the land, and it is not easy to procure these raw materials. Then where does the entrepreneur go? Now, whom will he take support from in such a situation? The State Small Industries Corporation will ensure that the entrepreneur gets the raw materials and the assistance in marketing of the final product in the foreign market as well. So where do they get the raw materials from? They will have to get prior permission and assistance from State Trading Corporation. They will have to get permission and from the central government and Metals and Minerals Trading Corporation, they have the Steel Authority of India, and also they may have to, get the permission, prior permission from these institutions who are supplying the raw materials, and then they provide it to the entrepreneur so that he is able to use those raw materials to make his maybe aluminium beam, or it could be the steel vessels, or it could be just about anything that comes out of the minerals that are embedded in the soil. So here we see that special aspect of the State Small Industries Corporation. So if we just were to look at each of these financial institutions here, it is just that we are not talking about the financial support, but each of these institutions have a specific responsibility which they are also taking care of, and that is what brings in the entrepreneurship programs to become a greater success across the country, and that is what is helping the economic development in the last 20-30 years in particular. Right. So now we move on to the next slide, which talks about technical guidance as well. So it's not all about finance and the financial assistance all the time. An entrepreneur may also need the kind of a technical guidance, and the technical guidance comes from Small Industries Development Organization, which is also called Sido. So what does SIDO do? So we will again see that there may be something very particular, very specific about Small Industries Development Organization, which is going to help entrepreneurs to continue their business. It is a nodal agency for formulating of policies, coordinating with the central government, and monitoring the implementation of the policies and the programs for the development of small scale industries. So here we see that it is acting as a liaison between the state government and the central government, or between the agency, between the entrepreneurship and the incubation center, perhaps, in helping in formulating the policies, because as and when the entrepreneurship starts to grow, there may be so many governmental policies that will have to be followed. There may be so many regulations that have to be complied with in terms of anti-pollution law and other acts that are there. And that is where the Small Industries Development Organization comes to the rescue of the entrepreneurs in the small segment, right? So here we have the technical guidance, which is also equally important for an entrepreneurship firm to grow. Then we have the other technical guidance that is given by SIDO in terms of development commissioner, who's going to be the head who implements programs of training and consultancy services. So there are numerous consultancies and their services which could be given to entrepreneurs, and SIDO also takes care of that through a commissioner. So they have a head who takes care of not only implementing the policies, but also ensures that he gives the right consultancy advices and the training to these entrepreneurs in the small segment sector. Okay, now once we finish with this, we also have to realize the fact that there is one particular industry which cannot be neglected, and that comes from when Mahatma Gandhi started the Khadi as one of the main areas where we could develop our country. The Khadi and village industries, the Coir Board, the Central Silk Board, all these fall under SIDO. So these institutions have been doing immense progress, and they have been catering to the demands of the Indians from a very long time, be it in the terms of khadi kurta, or it could be a silk sari, or it could be a coir mat that we use at our homes. Now all these have been helped by SIDO over the years, and today we are having a very big market for these products across the world. So thereby the exports of the products that come out of khadi and village industries, or it could be the coir board and its products, and also the Central Silk Board, which are coming out with various silk products. all this coming under the guidance of SIDO, have been able to do very well in the export market. And then the SIDO also has a very big responsibility of coordinating, because they are the ones who are also making the policies and the programs of the various state government, implying that they have to cater to the requirements of the state government, individual state government, and at the same time they also have to liaise with the central government to ensure that the policies are rightly framed. So for that, the right kind of a technical guidance is required, and that guidance comes from Small Industries Development Organization. Not only that, there are many ancillary units which are attached to these big, entrepreneurship companies, which need to be given the support. For example, if we have the silk weaving unit, they may have certain other units which are also helping them in supporting them and giving them the right kind of a thread that is required. Or we may have, even in the coir board, similar such activities from the ancillary units. Now, who's going to give them that guidance and support that is which is required? And that comes from the Small Industries Development Organization. And what about extension? So this is a new word here, which is attached to SIDO. Extension is in the form of a factory layout. So we may have a particular requirement of the land or the layout of the factory, which is necessary in order to manufacture a product. Now, what happens now? Supposing there's a weaving unit for a sari making unit in a small, industry, and then it requires a lot of space. Now, SIDO comes to their rescue by providing the right amount of space which is required to manufacture their product. So in this way, what happens? The design for the layout or the machinery that is required for weaving that particular kind of a sari, all that comes from our SIDO, meaning SIDO not only gives financial support, but also the technical guidance that is required for the entrepreneur to set up his factory or set up his business, and at the same time come out with his final product in the most efficient and successful manner. So these are some of the responsibilities which is being imparted by SIDO. So we move on to the next particular kind of a technical guidance institution, and that is our District Industry Center. So district industry centers, what are they? These centers provide essential services and support the entrepreneurs at the district level. See, now every state, if we get into the intricacies of each state, it is not about the major cities or the capital city of each state, but there are districts wherein there are a lot of unemployed youth who have to be channelized to get into a kind of employment which will help them get remunerated and at the same time help in the economy to grow. So district industry centers support the entrepreneurs at the district level by creating employment opportunities to the rural people. It could be men, it could be women. They have project managers working for the district industry center who act as technical officers. So who will actually really go to the field where these set of people are there, help them, giving them advice or guidance in such a way that they can come out with a product or an entrepreneurship program such that they will be able to get into gainful employment. And that is what the district industry center and its technical staff do. And they act as technical officers and provide support to the old and new entrepreneurs who are within that particular district. So we will realize that there are a lot of people in the rural side of India who want to migrate and come to the urban side for want of employment. Now, if that could be done at the district level itself, it would be very useful for them to, ensure that economic development takes place in that particular rural part of our country, and which will lead to the economic growth of our country. they upgrade technology. Now, very important is about being in the rural sector or in the rural side of India is to ensure that technology also reaches the people living there. And not only the public, but also the small scale units or the small entrepreneurs who want to really become technologically savvy. In other words, so here we have the technical officers ensuring that the internet connection is prevailing all across that particular district, so that they are able to operate in through their mobiles and also get information which could be useful for their businesses. So these are kind of the technical guidance that is given by district industries centers. So this concentrates on districts, and the main entrepreneurship programs that are run at the district levels are handicrafts, handlooms, our sericulture, khadi, and khadi related products, khadi industry board, etc., are all supported by DIC. And our handlooms and handicrafts are areas which are very popular not only in India but also outside India. And I think the district industry centers' role in promoting these small scale entrepreneurs will go a long way in bringing up our exports as well as in the developing of our economy. So this is about district industries center. Moving on to the next particular aspect of our technical guidance also takes the role of the responsibility that is given by the technical consultancy organizations. So let us see what is so special about these consultancy organizations. They have been created, in other words, to facilitate technical consultancy for industries on an all India basis. And they are established by the All India financial institutions and the state level financial institutions, such that they are able to go across the state to give their consultancy services. So we do need technical guidance. And as we have been discussing now in the earlier slides, entrepreneurs just don't need financial support, but they also need a lot of technical guidance when it comes to a particular product and or a service that they are into. So there comes our technical consultancy organizations and the staff belonging to them, to the TCO, who goes across the state giving technical guidance to entrepreneurs who require them. So this is about technical consultancy organizations. Moving further, we come to a very important institute which is very popular, called SISI, Small Industries Services Institutes. So small industry services institutes are throughout the country in all state capitals. So there the institutes are set up to be a liaison between the central and the state government. They give technical assistance and they promote products which are for exports. So this is one of the main agendas of SISI. So what do the products belong to? Which category? If we have to see those products which are exported today, mainly if you see it is something like, for example, we call it as footwear products, or we have our food processing units coming out with jams or maybe other food products which are very popular in the foreign land. Now, SISI takes the responsibility of being a liaison between the central and the state. They are all situated in the state capitals and come out to or reach out to entrepreneurs who want to come out with products or services which could be exported. Not only exports, they are also for the local markets as well, but they have a special concern for these entrepreneurs who are making products which could also be marketed abroad. So this is where our SISI services or service institutes come to play a very important role. So they are one who are amongst all the guidance, technical guidance that we saw so far. SIs give technical guidance in such a way that the products can be also exported, because for exports we need specific standards, especially when we just go to the example of footwear. So we need to have footwear which is coming up to the standards of the foreign market, otherwise it is not accepted. So these kind of technicalities may have to be taken care of, and SI rightly takes care of these technical aspects and helps entrepreneurs to help in, to come up in their business. So having spoken about these 4 areas of technical guidance institutions, we come to the 5th one, which is called State Small Industries Development Corporation. Now let us just see what is it that is so special about the State Small Industries Development Corporation. They provide infrastructure facilities to small scale industries. Not new from what we spoke so far, but infrastructure here means the roads. We have technical, we have tech parks, and we have industrial estates and parks which are meant to help entrepreneurs set up their business or set up their infrastructures. But what if there is no access to the roads? What if there is no access to electricity and water, or for that matter, the drainage? Now, the entrepreneurs need these basic infrastructure facilities in order to start their business and continue in their business. Now, the State Small Industries Development Corporation really takes care of these infrastructure facilities as well. Maybe apart from giving a technical guidance of various sorts, they may also, really take care of the real physical facilities that is required for an entrepreneur to set up his business. So they provide electricity, water, sheds, which are, or the factory layouts, which are meant for different entrepreneurs in different ways. Like I just we saw on the earlier slide, we saw how a sari weaving machine may require more space in terms of a layout than maybe another product which is being manufactured by another entrepreneur. So which means that there's a space which is actually a very big necessity for any entrepreneur to set up his business. That kind of space in sheds or in that particular industrial layout is being specified, and State Small Industries Development Corporation ensures that the entrepreneur gets the right space in terms of infrastructure, along with the other facilities such as the road, the drainage, the electricity, and the water facility. Not just that, the entrepreneur may need laborers who are skilled and unskilled in order to run his business. So this human resource factor is also taken care by State Small Industries Development Corporation. And not just that, they also ensure that if an unskilled labor could be trained into a skilled labor in order to do a particular job, they do offer training facilities too for the entrepreneur to get skilled labor as per his requirement. So these are some of the very essentials of each of the technical guidance, and we have seen from Small Industries Development Organization till the SSIDCs how they have been able to come out with special responsibilities in order to cater to the demands of the entrepreneur. So this is about the institutions which give technical guidance. Now we move further about training. So here we are going to talk about we may need to speak about a very essential concept in our entrepreneurship, and that is how are we going to train our employees. It's not about just the entrepreneur to be given ideas to start a business, but what if his employees need to be trained as well? So we have 3 institutions about which I will be talking in detail now. So we first take up the SISI. So Small Industries Service Institute. It has been set up to provide consultancies and training to small entrepreneurs. the entrepreneurs in this particular sector, when I say, they're in the Small Industry Service Institute give training sessions. They could be for food processing, footwear, ready-made garments, and other areas which are very similar to the products which come out into the market. It could be handicrafts, handlooms, etc. as well. So SISI, Small Industries Service Institute, is of great immense help to these industries which are into making of footwear, food processing, handlooms, handicrafts, etc. So there they train the skilled workers to work on the job, and as well as the unskilled laborers to get converted to skilled laborers, so that they are able to perform better, and at the same time the HR aims of the entrepreneurs are met. Then coming next to the next very popular institute, or I would say the institution which is like a very big boon to the rural sector of India. We have Nabard, or the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. They have formulated immense programs and plans for the rural development of our country. Started in 1982. They have been in collaboration with the lead banks across the states of India, and they have also worked with in collaboration with rural development and self-employment training institutes, what we call as RUDSETI. And it is through the RUDSETI and the lead banks that Nabard has been able to reach each and every nook and corner of the rural India in developing not only the agriculture or the rural-based entrepreneurship programs, but they have immensely helped the women to come out as entrepreneurships, and that is something which is very, very creditable for NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So RUDSETI, in collaboration with Nabard, is that institute which helps entrepreneurs to come out with technical guidance and programs, and they all come from the rural sector. They've been trained into various occupations. Like just now we saw what it is to be a web designer, or it could also be a food processing unit, or it could be into plantations such as rubber plantation to come out with rubber products. Or it could also be, depending upon each state's soil and the kind of agricultural product that is grown there. It is, for example, if arecanut is being grown in a particular state, we will see that arecanut is a byproduct, after which the leaves are cut down to make eco-friendly plates. So these kind of innovative ideas has come from RUDSETI. And these organizations, RUDSETIs, are in collaboration with Nabard, spread across the country, and they really help the people, women and men in the rural sector, to come out with innovative ideas. And we have seen that their market has grown across India and also to the parts of the world, because something like eco-friendly plates is something which is in demand today across the world. Now, to that extent, we see National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development playing a very important role in training through RUDSETIs and through their other institutes. Then we have the third training institution, which is called as Council for Advancement of People's Action and Rural Technology, which is CAPART. Now, there is some kind of a voluntary services or efforts also by our Indians who really want to reach out to the rural sector. And Council for the Advancement of People's Action really is playing a very important role by having two special programs. And like I said, what is so special about this particular training institute is they have come out with two yojanas called as the Gram Samriddhi Yojana and Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana. So these two yojanas are inculcating the entrepreneurship skills in the rural Indian. And in the bargain, what is happening is the rural Indians in these particular areas are coming out with very small kind of entrepreneurship programs, which is being supported by these people who belong to the, or to the persons who belong to the Council of Advancement of People's Action and Rural Technology. So there they are also given the technological inputs, because that we see is very, very important today. It's not just about giving a voluntary service, but also to ensure that these yojanas become a success through technology. That is also being taken care by Council for Advancement of People's Action and Rural Technology. So here we saw each of these training institutes, but having their own special portfolios, which is so different from one another, such that we have been able to reach the masses of India, especially the rural India. So we move on further now to talk about the other financial institutions. Now we saw the major financial institutions playing a major role, but we also need to look into the role of other financial institutions, and that we will talk about starting from the central level, state level, to the other level, or the autonomous bodies, which are also helping in the entrepreneurship development of India. So let us now quickly look into each of these at the central level. Now, what is happening at the central level is that we have central government institutions, like the government formulated the micro, small and medium enterprises. We spoke about it in the beginning of our session. The government is formulating the policies for the growth of MSMEs through the National Commission for Enterprises in the unorganized sector. See, these are certain very, very fine, sensitive areas also to which we need to give coverage. The unorganized sector in India is one wherein there are very less number of employees working, who have no norms to be followed in terms of employment when it comes to salary, working hours, etc. So there needs to be, but they are giving immense support to the entrepreneur, these employees and workers, such that the entrepreneurship is growing. But from the central government and the state government, these employees need to be given support. When the employees are given support, automatically the small entrepreneurship MSME also starts to grow. So this is being handled by the central government by having NCEUS. The various policies and the schemes of the government assistance for the development of these rural industries is to examine the problems of the unorganized sector. So we know the unorganized sectors have woes which are unheard of. I mean, we are not able to hear their problems. There has to be some agency which can go reach up to them and talk about their problems and bring solutions to their problems at their levels. And that is being done by NCEUS. So as the name suggests, we have the National Commission for Enterprises in the unorganized sector. So they are also entrepreneurs in their own rights, but have been neglected, I would say. And for that, the support is coming by this particular agency. The various policies and schemes of the government is being implemented to them as well. And that has to be taken care of by the government, and government has been taking steps in this regard, and that comes from the institutional support for entrepreneurs at the central government level. Then we have the Small Scale Industries Board, which is established in 1954 to provide effective coordination and inter-institutional linkages for the benefit of small scale sector. So now what if, like I said, there are particular agricultural products which are grown only in that soil of that particular state. Now, what do we do with the raw materials, and how do we channelize the raw material to become into a final product such that it reaches the markets in the local market as well as in the global market? So, for example, rubber. Rubber being extensively, the rubber plantation trees grow in Kerala and parts of Karnataka. Now, if there is a small scale industries board there to help in, helping the raw materials to, become final products through various entrepreneurship, concepts like setting up the factory and coming out with machinery that helps the rubber, raw in the raw form to become a final product, or that particular arachnet leaf to get into to become a blade. Now, all that requires a lot of expertise, which is being given by the small scale industries board. So this again is one of the institutions which is helping the entrepreneurs in a big way. We come back to Nabard again to talk about the various services that they are doing to the rural sector in India. So coming back to NABARD, established in 1982, they have come out with a mission to uplift rural India by giving the credit flow in agriculture, cottage industries, villages for where handicrafts are being made, and the small scale industry. It is also required to support the non-farm sector while promoting other allied activities. So here we see that the farming sector also belongs to just not agriculture, but also dairy entrepreneurship programs. And we have the agri-based schemes. We also have the national livestock and animal husbandry, poultry. All these are areas which are also to be covered under the agriculture allied industries, and that which helps in the rural development of our country. And Nabard has been rightly taking care and catering to the demands of these agro-based industries as well. So it is concerned about planning operations for giving credit directly or indirectly for agriculture, as well as all the other economic activities which are concerned with agriculture in the rural sector of India. So that is where the Nabard has been playing a major role through from 1982. So we have other responsibilities of Nabard, which takes the form of finance of short-term and long-term finance, indirect finance, and direct finance for agriculturists who want to operate by having their own warehouses. So that's a very big challenge for an agriculturist when it comes to storing his food grains. So warehousing, cold storage, all these are being taken care by Nabard. So these all come under the direct financial assistance. The indirect finance that is being given by Nabard is through short-term and long-term loans, which is given to the commercial banks of India. That apart, they are not only taking care of the agriculture and the farm sector, but also the non-agricultural sector, which takes the form of dairy entrepreneurship, agri-based schemes such as the livestock mission, animal husbandry, etc. Now, we have to here mention a very important concept which deals with women entrepreneurs, and I will fail in my duties if I don't mention about the self-help group bank linkage project through microfinance, which was started in 1992, has been a very great success when it comes to channelizing the talents of women entrepreneurs across the country. So by giving, by forming self-help groups, what the women in India across through Nabard and through the various schemes of Nabard have been able to do is they have all come out on their own. They have all been able to become big successful entrepreneurs, not only supporting their families, but also they have been entrepreneurs in their own rights. So this is what the 1992 major, act of Nabard that did to our country. And so we have women entrepreneurs who are working for self-help groups and who are entrepreneurs in their own rights, and they have a very good facility which has been given to them for information regarding their credit through the digitalization of their accounts. So this has happened as one of the latest strategies of Nabard to ensure that there is transparency in their business accounts. So for that, they started the E-Shakti program. So E-Shakti program took care of digitalizing all the accounts of the women members, through the Aadhaar link. And they were now able to realize that women are able to perform better because they are able to know their credit status easily. And that helps them to function better. So these services of Nabard has been immense to the rural sector of India regarding the farming of agricultural products, non-farm sector like the dairy, and also including the women entrepreneurs into their arena of operations. So this is a little about Nabard. There may be much more inputs that could be given, but at the moment we are not able to speak much about them, but we will definitely take it up later. Now we have again at the third financial institution which is playing majorly in this regard, SIDO. We spoke in depth about this particular industry, wherein it helps the SSIs to come out with policy making decisions, promotions of their products, and there is full help from the state government regarding coordination of the policies through SIDO. And they also have facilities for the testing, tool making, and they also have training programs for the entrepreneurs as well as the employees, from training the skilled employees to the unskilled employees, all being given equal importance by SIDO. And I think we have dealt about this particular concept in the earlier slide also. Now I move on to the next one. Sido also has come out with other similar organizations or institutions such as SISI. We also spoke about it in the earlier slide, how SISI is coordinating between the state government and the central government, and is established in every capital city of the state of India, and they are into various training programs, and these programs help the entrepreneurs to set up their entrepreneurship cells in such a way that they are able to export their products. So the export market is something which SISI is focusing, and they are also ensuring that the products and services are of quality to meet the global standards. So this is something which we spoke about. So we will again come back to the next slide, which is also going to talk about RTCs and product cum process development centers. So what are they? They have been product cum process development centers. They are, they are providing services to the different types of small scale industries concentrated in different locations of the country. And where there is a need for upgrading technology, or where there is no technology existing at all, they would have to provide technological and technical expertise. So these centers are responsible as research centers, as well as they encourage designing of a product, coming out with new processes in the services industry through technology. So this is what the product cum process development centers are doing across the country. We also have the regional training centers. The regional training centers are those centers which are responsible for bringing awareness of the product, not only to the entrepreneur, but also to the marketers, to the general public. Now, what if a product or a service is of very good quality and it comes out with, a need which has to serve the customer, but the awareness is not created about the product at all. Now, where do entrepreneurs sell their product is the next question. Now, if the regional training centers are able to give that quality of awareness programs to not only the entrepreneurs, to also to the customers and the prospective customers across that particular area or the state, then it is of immense help, and they are doing it in a very systematic manner. So we have regional training centers which are helping to create awareness in the minds of entrepreneurs as well as the customers and in the markets, such that the product is able to have a smooth flow in its life cycle. So then we also have our National Small Industries Corporation. So another institute which was formulated in 1955, and the main functions are to supply machinery and equipment. So this is time and again we were talking about tools and machinery which have to be set up in factories and in layouts. But where do we get the supply for these machines and equipments? Where is the financial assistance for purchase of these machineries? Where is it that arrangements can be received for the raw materials to manufacture the product? How is it that the technology is going to be used in these setups? And what do we do to transfer technology from one setup to another? All this is being taken care by the National Small Industries Corporation. And it was established in 1955. Yes, this is a different kind of a sector which is special to the needs of technology transfer and supply of machinery and equipment to entrepreneurs who are setting up their entrepreneurial activity. So this is about NSIC. We move to the next one. Again, at the central government level, we spoke a lot about SIDBI. So I don't want to talk much about it, but the very importance of SIDBI and its organizing capacities reach up to the primary lending institutions or banks, which are able to in turn give loans or give financial assistance to state financial corporations, state industrial development corporations, and the scheduled banks. So the financial assessment that comes from the Small Industries Development Bank of India goes directly into the entrepreneurs' hands or to the entrepreneurs' hands through cooperative banks and the regional rural banks. So they are all there to help the rural entrepreneur. And this is one of the major responsibilities of SIDBI. SIDBI has also encouraged entrepreneurs through giving of large loans and for the high-tech SMEs. The small and medium enterprises also reach a level of being high-tech, or they may bring in technology to such an extent that they are able to, reach out more faster into the market. And for that, when the financial assistance is required to a large extent, the SIDBI comes to their rescue. So this is one of the main special responsibilities which the SIDBI is taking care of. So here comes the role of SIDBI. We move on to the next slide, which talks about, as the name suggests, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization, wherein in association with IIT Delhi, we have, and the research center at Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, we have Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization. So encouraging research, extending the research and development to the rural sectors across India, bringing out entrepreneurships and firms of entrepreneurs which have quality in their product, and those entrepreneurs also get the right kind of training and also the right technology related information such that they are able to progress and prosper. So this is about Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization. So we move on to a very important board when we come to autonomous bodies. I said we will start with central and then the state, and we'll also come to certain other equally important organizations and autonomous bodies. Coir Board was set up in 1953 to promote the development of the coir industry. And it is meant for the workers who belong to the traditional industry. So especially in states like Kerala, or in any state where this particular board has developed its research institute, wherein we have one in Kerala, the Central Coir Research Institute, and they have also set up another research institute in Bangalore, and they undertake the research activities for the different aspects of coir industry, which is a major agro-based rural industry in India. So they manufacture coir mats, and you name it, and we have various products under this particular sector, which is not only meant for the local market but also for the global market, and promoting the organizations amongst producers and entrepreneurs in terms of what it is from the husk to come to be made into a final product is all the responsibility of the coir board. Moving further, we come to the next slide, coming to the state government institutions and their initiatives. We have something like the State Financial Corporation. So what is the State Financial Corporation helped the entrepreneurs in? Acquiring the land, building, plant and machinery, which is very important. And at the same time, generating that self-employment spirit in the entrepreneur and to encourage women entrepreneurship at each and every level of the state. And that, I think, goes a big way in the economic development of our nation. We also talk in terms, or the state government institutions also talk in terms of expanding their industries in the various arenas of that particular state. And that could be done by the men and the women put together, and that is one of the missions of our state government institutions, such as State Financial Corporation. Moving further, we also have a very important institution in the form of a non-banking financial corporation called the MUDRA, the Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency Limited, which has supported the banks by lending micro units, loans up to 10 lakhs. So what does MUDRA actually do? The Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency is providing refinance to micro businesses or small businesses under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So here the products for the development and the support comes in the form of three kinds of loans which are given. So we call it as the Shishu Yojana, which is covering up loans up to 50,000. We have Kishore Yojana covering loans up to 50,000 up to 5 lakhs. And the third Yojana, which is covering loans from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So you have a maximum of 10 lakhs which can be granted under the Mudra scheme, provided the entrepreneur also has to his credit that kind of an idea or a enterprise which is already running, which has the scope for growth. So Mudra is a new concept, newly framed Yojana from the Pradhan Mantri Yojana schemes, which is called as Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Stand Up India. So Stand Up India is one of the schemes which was launched in 2016, April the 5th, wherein the bank loans of 10 lakhs to 1 crore could be given to one scheduled caste, one scheduled tribe, or at least one woman borrower per bank across the country in order to develop greenfield enterprises. What is greenfield enterprise? It is that land which has remained barren, or where there has been no growth of any crop, or it has not been used so far, where these borrowers can take loans and make that land to reap benefits in terms of farming, in terms of growing up some crop, which will help the entrepreneur in her way or in his own way. So this has been done across the country through scheduled commercial banks. That apart, we also, I will be not completing my seminar or my presentation without mentioning about Mahila E-Heart, which is all about women entrepreneurs coming up on a platform portal wherein they are able to buy and sell their products across India. So this is all a part of our Stand Up India and Digital India initiative, wherein Mahila E-Heart provides opportunities to women entrepreneurs to leverage technology in order to showcase their products. So we have the physical hearts or exhibitions centers, at the time when all women gather and showcase their products, either for exhibition or for sale. That is being done through a e-portal, through technology means, An e-heart requires a mobile number, and it can be handled by the entrepreneur herself, and also for wherein she can showcase her products through pictures, photographs, and videos. And there are customers who can pick up the item through e-heart. So this is about women entrepreneurs. So one part of women entrepreneurship was all spoken about through the Nabard schemes, and that apart, we also have schemes such as Mahila e-Hack. Now we end our session by talking about the autonomous bodies. Here we have two very important autonomous bodies. One is the Indian Council for Small Industries, set up in 1979, who have helped the tiny and the small industries and artisans of the rural areas by giving entrepreneurship development skills to them, and also helping them by training and research. That apart, Laghu Udyog Bharati, founded in 1995, has been set up to promote and safeguard the interest of the small-scale industries within the state through the small-scale industries support. It is responsible for undertaking the entrepreneurs' support for technology upgradation and marketing services. Laghu Udyog Bharati has been having exhibitions throughout India on a regular basis, wherein the entrepreneurs meet each other, share their thoughts and the information as well as their products, and that has been a great success across the country. So this is about the autonomous bodies also who are reaching out to the entrepreneurs. It is not about the state government and the central government alone, which is going about in a very big way to help the entrepreneurs in India, but we also have non-government institutions which are giving support. So coming to the end of this presentation, I would like to I would like to end this session by saying the importance of the EDI, Entrepreneurship Development Institute, or for that matter, the incubation centers, technology incubation centers, and as well as the financial institutions cannot be underestimated. All three of them will have to work in tandem with each other such that India becomes an all-in-all Atmanirbhar, which is one of the aims of one of our yojanas under the Prime Minister's schemes. So Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, or self-reliant, is being local, being vocal for local, and at the same time catering to the demands of the global. So who else can do it better than an entrepreneur? I'm sure all of us will agree on this point. And with that, I end today's session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hema. Participants, feel free to ask any queries to Dr. Hema. You can unmute yourself.